down to mainstream media using the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and using that to lie to us. So you can't have both things. So that's the first thing, censorship. To hold them criminally liable, not just financially liable, but criminally liable. Second thing is the resource. If you're in the U.S., you just type in your zip code, and it'll create communication with your state and federal legislators, so you can write them a letter, put them on notice. We will be continue following the links, and you will come to a place that you can actually create your free advanced medicine dashboard. There's a bunch of free resources, videos. There's a head map, the Advanced Health Evaluation Assessment for Detoxification Medical Assessment Program, completely free. It's actually valued at $300 each time you take this assessment, and it does a bunch of things for your health. It allows you to see which organs of detoxification are being taxed, but it's completely free for you, and you won't ever pay anything for it. But at that same site, you will see these videos, and these are the videos that got censored from YouTube and Facebook. So watch those videos. It's COVID-19 conspiracy question mark. I asked a question, and so there's 6 of those videos up, and the 7th one will be released too. The first one is fact versus fiction. Second one is toxicology ignored. Third one is corrupted science. Fourth one is that technology and immunity. Fifth one is deceptive agenda, and the 6th one is empowering yourself. So that's the third thing you can do. The fourth thing you can do is download those videos and download these other videos we're going to start releasing. We release minutes long. You can download them on your mobile devices, computers, and get this information out there. Share it with everybody that you know, because this information is necessary for the whole planet to be aware of. You become empowered with knowledge. Once you're empowered with knowledge, you can no longer be victimized. Nobody can take advantage of you. So that's the fourth thing you can do. And the fifth thing that you can do, which is very, very important, is that stop thinking that this is a bad thing. Realize what an exciting time this is and what's coming down the pipeline, which is a much better planet. See, I'm going for the gusto here, because either one, we're going to succeed, which I feel 99% certain we're going to succeed, and it's going to be a much better world than it's been for the last couple of thousand years. A much more even playing field, a place of abundance and acceptance and love and camaraderie, as opposed to this world that they've created that's based on division. So I'm excited because it's bringing everything to a head. This is an opportunity. And if I'm wrong, and if that 99% of me is wrong and 1% is right that they succeed, it doesn't make any difference, because we're not going to be here. I'm not going to be here. You're probably not going to be here, Chaka. There's going to be a lot of other people that aren't going to be here. So I want to do the best I can for my kids to make sure that they have a future and that I have grandkids. So that fifth thing that you can do that's the most important is hold a place of love and compassion and gratitude for not just what you have for your friends and your family, but for people that you don't know on the other side of the planet. Pick up a map, look at a globe, and go to the opposite side of the world, and Google it and find out who's living in that other side of the world, and hold compassion and love and gratitude for them, and ask for support from the source energy, from the Creator, to help us, to support us in this period of evolution, because evolution is always good. It's just painful, it's chaotic, it's disruptive, I know, but growth is painful and disruptive, right? But it's necessary for the next evolutionary step to take. So those are the 5 things that people can do right now. Start doing them today, and you can go, we'll have this link up. If I'd known we could have set this up beforehand, but I started thinking about your orphanages. It's a great way for you to support. It's a great way for us to support the orphanages too. So that's what I thought. We'll get that all set up. Amazing.
So I'm going to make sure that that's promoted. I'm good at promoting stuff. But what I was going to say to you is this: just because it cut it off and I want to save this live, some people have said they recorded it, but I don't know if I'll be able to get that back. But just for future reference, because I actually, and the people in here are going to conspire to make this happen. I actually want to get you on live with my sister Steph, and then on live with either P. Diddy or Cardi B, because they have way bigger platforms than me, but they care about truth as well. So just a quick kind of chronological lineage from 2010 to where we are now. Can you just give me like a 5 minutes, including Fauci, ID 2020, Gates, Bright, all of the players who were involved and why they would seek to conspire against the public? So we can just wrap this up in 5 minutes. Go.
All right, let's see. I'm going to go to 1991. National Vaccine Initiative started giving vaccines to children on the first day of the planet, started introducing all sorts of viral DNA adducts, mutated human cell lines, aluminum and formaldehyde, nickel and mercury, and all this garbage. And children started going from 1 in 10,000 incidents of autism to today 1 out of 30 children in autism. Depending on what you look at, 1 out of 32, 1 out of 30, 1 out of 29, whatever it is, they've called it a genetic epidemic. It's not a genetic epidemic. There's no such thing. This is a process that takes hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. Fast forward to 2010, that's when H1N1 came up. The Zika, H1N1, MERS, all these things these are all attempts to create a foundation for what they were going to do coming up, what happened now with COVID-19. 2014, there was a moratorium passed by the U.S. government on chimeric research to prevent taking gain-of-function studies and taking these viruses and making them more resistant and more virulent. The government said no more because of the outcry from a lot of the virologists in the scientific community. But the reason was because they were concerned about the potential for pandemic. In 2014, the moratorium was passed. In 2015, Fauci, having a high-level directorship at the NIH, knowing full well what the moratorium was about, bypassed the moratorium and funded Wuhan, paid out $3.7 million to take the same research that was being done in the University of North Carolina with scientists in Wuhan to outsource it. Whether the stuff was, the research was conducted in North Carolina and taken to Wuhan, or whether they did the development of the process in North Carolina and then took it to Wuhan. Regardless, the cell came from Fort Detrick to Wuhan in 2015 against a U.S. governmental moratorium. So this is not just breaking the law. This is like treason. All right. Fauci has been involved with funding research for drug development, knowing full well that the drugs are going to be effective. Point in case, hydroxychloroquine and Zithromax, we've seen that it reduces this altitude-like sickness of people are only sick for a day. That nobody's died from this protocol. He says that you cannot rely on this because it's anecdotal, even though both drugs have been on the market for between 20 and 70 years. He says, no, there's no scientific evidence. But hey, let's make this vaccine that's an RNA vaccine made by a company that's never made a freaking vaccine ever, never made anything consumable by humans, and it's going to be RNA replicated, bypass all animal testing. That's okay, that's safe, but don't use the drugs that have been established. So the guy is a dirtbag, he's a criminal, he's created more genocide than anybody else. Gates has been feeding him the resources. Gates' back pocket. Gates is the biggest vaccine manufacturer now. Gates is the one who's funding Moderna. Gates actually has funded and backs he's the biggest contributor to the World Health Organization, the biggest contributor to the Centers for Disease Control, and the biggest contributor to many other organizations. He's created more genocide and more harm than any living person right now on the planet. I think it's more than any living person that's been on the planet or will be on the planet. He's done way more damage than Hitler. And I don't know how much time I got left, but the bottom line is that right now, guys, if this is allowed to happen, this next wave that's coming out, people are going to get sick from the vaccines, people are going to get sick from the technology rollout. This technology does not cause this problem, but the technology triggers it, initiates it, propagates it. So now when people are getting exposed to this technology, what's going to happen? They're going to get sick from the vaccines, they're going to get sick, and now they're going to mandate, they're going to say, oh my God, look, COVID-19's gotten worse. Now you don't have a choice, you have to get the COVID-19 vaccine. But it's all going to be a bunch of BS because people are getting sick from the vaccines and from the technology. But under pretense of public safety, they're going to mandate the vaccine, give it to everybody, and then you're going to have masses of people dying, millions of people dying, and the few people like you that are going to refuse to take it will either be shot in the head or we'll be put in a concentration camp. And that's why we can't let this happen. And I think that I can try to stop this.
Okay. Well, I think that kind of wraps it up. Thank you for your time, and thank you for being a warrior of truth, because you are possibly the first or one of the first doctors that have been speaking out about this without any ulterior motive, just as a soldier for truth. And as I saw in one of your videos previously, the reason why you were involved in the military is because you were interested in freedom, whether or not that freedom was taken, that pursuit of freedom was taken as my own was when I was 19 and I was in Iraq at war for resources. I thought it was for freedom, right? But it wasn't. The thing about soldiers is that they are brave and they act first and think later, a lot of them. And we thank you for acting and continuously acting. We thank you for telling us that you love your life and your family, and that you didn't, you would not seek to harm yourself in any way. So we are sending our love and our thoughts and our prayers to you. We thank you for coming forward and speaking out when other doctors aren't speaking out, but is now creating a wave, almost a movement of doctors speaking out, which is what we need, because ultimately the people who are the head authorities on this are the media and Gates and charlatans who are posing as doctors. I mean, just to summarize, just so people can know what your medical background is, because this is obviously a new live. What is your medical background, and what do you do day to day? You actually practicing? You actually treat people?
Yeah, I've got a clinic with a number of staff. I've got 3 other doctors that work with me that are part of my entourage, my medical providers, and my formal training was in surgery and emergency medicine, and we do a lot of stuff with cancer and autism and heart disease, non-conventional, non-surgical, and pharmaceutical.
Okay, cool. So you're an actual doctor, which is great, and I figure that this shouldn't be the last kind of live that we do, because seeing as they're going to keep people in their houses, we might as well not be quiet, because I think it was Zora Neale Hurston who said, if you're silent, then they'll kill you and say you enjoyed it. And I'm going to try and connect you now with some of my other brothers and sisters who have way bigger platforms than me, but are concerned with truth, because I think that this message should get out. Guys, go to askdrbuttar.com. That's Dr. Buttar.com, and he's going to put a /Chakabars on there, but just go to his site, look at the videos that were taken down and censored, and see why they were taken down and censored. Because if there is only conspiracy theories, then why were they censoring himself, David Icke, and all of the people who were speaking about these things? But yeah, thank you for your time. Like, it's a pleasure. I'm sorry we had to do the FaceTime thing. It wasn't really working. But shout out to you, shout out to your wife. Peace and love.
Thank you.
Respect. So, how do I do this?